Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you SlayerS.Puzzle, who is currently at one game in this best-of-3 series in the round of 8 of the TSL4 qualifier. It's brought to you by Razer and Twitch.tv. He is in the Blue Trunks playing Protoss to the east versus his opponent, who is one game away from getting knocked out of this one after that brutal game there. It is FXO.Leenock in the Red Trunks playing Zerg to the west.
And just thinking back at that last game, I really did like how Leenock hid the Spire tech away from his opponent and tried to use it, but unfortunately that was probably his downfall, was the Spire. I mean, he didn't do anything with Mulus in that game whatsoever, and that slowed him down to where he could have been. But you can argue the same point is that Puzzle played it great. You know, he actually deflected that, more importantly, hit it back easily, and it was Puzzle that stopped the Mulus doing anything rather than Leenock not achieving anything with them. So great game by both players, but Puzzle, you know, absolutely fantastic game, really amazing play.
Yeah, without question. I'm trying to pick holes in Puzzle's play, and I actually can't. I can't see anything he did wrong there. That was almost the perfect game from him. So well executed and so smart. But once again, we are on Antigua. Things can get a bit grim here for Protoss against Zerg. And a Puzzle with the pylon on the lower ground. The question is, what does he decide to do from here on in? There's a few options.
Yeah, I mean, he can try to go Nexus first again. I mean, it's not... The distance is a little bit bigger than it is in Entombed in the positions they were before. So he may do that, and he can also throw down the Forge as well, which is absolutely fine here. But absolutely, he will be going for a double pylon wall on the ramp there. And then in between the pylon and the rest of the structures will be the Zealot. It's my preferred wall-off as well. I actually love this kind of wall-off. It gives you a lot of space. I love the ability to be able to control the higher ground as well, rather than sitting back and having a pylon Nexus wall where you basically give your opponent the low ground, I mean the high ground, you give them all the space to run around and so on, which can be a little bit annoying.
Exactly. Well, we're not... Of course, the nice option with the Forge as well is that you can bring that pylon block down as well, which he was able to do. He then cancels the pylon block on the natural, as the standard Zerg response to that is to just go to the third, unless you want to risk a double pylon block, which is not really all that great. It's a waste of money, and it often forces a very aggressive reaction out of the Zerg. Then, yeah, that's all he really needed to do at that stage. Just a little bit of delay and harassment, and he'll now go back to his base.
We are seeing, though, that without the pylon thrown down by Puzzle, he actually got the gateway down at a pretty decent timing. So, you know, he didn't get the second pylon first, then the gateway. So that, you know, shows us that he's going to have Warp Gate research out a little bit faster here if he chooses to. If he wants to spend Chrono Boost, it's even faster. So he could do something. He could do something. Not just with Warp Gate research, though. It could be tech. Because now the gateway is faster, the cybernetics core is faster, therefore tech is faster. So definitely interested to see what Puzzle's going to bring.
Yeah, because Puzzle has been bringing out some great strategies thus far, and he seems to have a hell of a lot of flexibility. He plays Protoss actually in a very reactionary way, I've noticed, almost like a Zerg player, and it's very cool to watch.
Yeah, that's the best style of play. It's just very difficult to pull off. With the new Observer change, it increases its build time a little, brings it down, sorry, increases its time to get across the map, whatever. It's actually really nice. Because the Observer gets there a little bit faster, you can build it a little bit faster, which is always good to have, and that helps that reactionary style of play to come in. But right now, Puzzle is about to make those options available. He's gone for +1 attack immediately here, and he'll obviously go for Warp Gate research first, but that shows us that he's wanting to get +1 out at a decent time. So we could see a +1 attack, we could, but anything's still possible.
Yeah, this is a map where I do see a lot of +1 Zealot pressure onto the third base, quite a bit. The question is, how many gateways does he put behind it, and is it pressure or is it an all-out attack, more to the point? So we will see quite shortly from Puzzle how much he really wants to dedicate to this.
And because Puzzle scouting information with the probe of all 3 hatcheries, he doesn't need to build a Zealot, which is always nice. So he goes straight for a Stalker, and then the Stalker will get rid of the Lings in the middle of the map. He's actually Chrono Boosting out. Could go for a second Stalker. That's pretty frustrating for a Zerg player, if it is, and yeah, it will. So with a double Stalker and the Chrono Boost on the Cybernetics core, I think he will try a +1 attack, actually. Try to do some damage, but right now, the way that Zergs are evolving their play, they're getting better and better and better at scouting these kind of things out. The overlord positions are incredible right now for Leenock, so he will be able to see this relatively easy, I think.
That's the the question is how effective it's going to be. It doesn't look like he's going to go crazy with it, and he's going to just do 4 gateways, so fairly standard pressure. As you were pointing out with the Overlord, Leenock now moving in, gets a little bit of scouting information. Stalker now moving forward, and notices the creep isn't joined up yet, which that's just a little bit inconvenient there for Leenock. He won't be able to easily bring his queens into range.
And I think that that probe and pylon is building on the right hand side. Leenock should, I don't know if he did, should have seen it leave his main the natural location, because there was no Overlord spawning down the right hand side.
So he may get a clue, actually, because that Overlord will
he knows now.
Yeah, he definitely knows now. It's like, well, yeah, that constitutes a clue, putting it right outside of the third base. But whatever the case, he does know now. The question is, does he know early enough? He is bringing the Roach Warren out. In fact, that's just completed. So I don't know how much damage this is really going to do.
No, it won't do anything, I don't think. The 5 roaches, 6 roaches are on the way. He'll try and get 4 zealots in to do something, and he's trying to walk them on the high ground. Oh no, he actually got them on the right-hand side, sorry. So the zealots are coming from the right-hand side, and let's see how much damage they can do. With roaches popping out, it'll immediately get shut down, of course.
Yeah, absolutely, yes, absolutely. And the roaches are pretty much here now. I'm actually surprised that Slim wants to go for it. Maybe just wants a queen out of it and say, you know what? Well, he is warping in 2 stalkers and 2 zealots up to the top here. Leenock's actually supply blocked, which is a little bit awkward. He's not going to be able to reinforce from this position until he loses a bunch of that army. But there just may be too many units here. Let's see how well this is controlled. Puzzle going for the Spine Crawler, loses a couple of zealots, and 2 more go down as the roach reinforcements come in, and there's the cleanup coming out here from Leenock, and the amount of damage done was negligible. Pretty much nothing at all.
Yeah, good hold, great timings on his Roach Warren and everything. Perfect hold there by Leenock, and that's very easily dealt with. Unfortunately for Puzzle, is now he's in a position where, that sucks. Now I have to sit back with sentries, because that was a big investment to do that early on. He could have had the Robot, could have even had Immortals in the game by now. But no. Now he's actually sitting back. He's going to get Blink, because he knows his unit count's low, so he wants to increase the effectiveness of them and micro them well. Maybe he can try and take a third base a lot faster with having a smaller unit count. But one thing's for sure, he has to get an Immortal out really, really fast here. Expecting Roachling coming out from his opponent.
Absolutely. And there it is. There's the +1 missile attack coming in. 10 more roaches. 12 actually being added here. He's going to go for a Warp Prism. Risky stuff. Adding on more gateways. Going for Warp Prism. Not actually getting that Immortal out so early. Now, of course, this will allow him to harass without question, but I don't know if this is the best idea. How is he going to deal with that many roaches knocking on his front door?
Well, he's actually just thrown down 3 more gateways, so he may actually just say, screw it, I'm not going to go ahead and take a new base, I'm actually just going to go attack. So, with +2 on the way, absolutely, I think he's just going to go for it, and be like, well, you know, I failed once, I have to play from behind now, Leenock had a really good hold, let's see what I can do. Maybe Leenock over-drones, because there's more probability in picking up a win with a secondary attack like this, rather than trying to play the game out longer. So, let's see if Puzzle can make this work.
Indeed. I am concerned, though. He's now bringing the Immortal out, and yeah, as you accurately pointed out, the +2 is about to finish, but Puzzle now moving across the map with this Warp Prism, which is got to get spotted almost immediately here in the center. So the question is, does that stop Leenock from actually going, because he's a little bit concerned about that Warp Prism? And he is pulling back now, so he wants to try and intercept it.
Yeah, right now Leenock knows it's a 2-base all in. He saw the 3 additional gateways. Oh, great force fields on the natural there.
Very nice.
5 roaches, really nice pickup there. That'll help this push so much. It'll make it a little bit more stronger. And as long as Puzzle just doesn't lose units carelessly, he still has a shot, but a very small shot. Leenock has a big unit count, 170 supply, and it is ever so increasing every second that passes by.
Yeah, this is looking kind of grim. The roach count is, of course, sinking up and sponging a lot of that supply, so maybe it's not quite as intimidating as it looks, but still, that is 42 roaches with Leenock's control. That's damn intimidating one way or the other. And the Warp Prism doesn't get in, repulsed instantly by Double Queen here on the 3rd, and Leenock is just sitting there waiting for this rollout, and wow, is Puzzle actually going to take a 3rd?
No, I think he's just cleaning overloads then going.
Yeah,
I mean, he's way too dedicated here.
Yeah.
And the attack's gonna come, but I don't think it's gonna work. I mean, we'll look at that counterattack set by Leenock. He's actually just gonna go and kill everything at the natural.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk in. Oh, this is comical. There's actually there's 1 sentry, so he can get 1 force field down. Tunneling Claws is on the way, but I don't think he's gonna get a force field down in time. He actually gets a nice split there, but it doesn't matter, because Leenock's just going to batter his way through the front wall, and the supply block's already kicked into effect. Puzzle's tiny little army now moving forward. We're going to have to see some great control here from Puzzle. Let's see what he can bring into play. Deploys the warp prism, realizes, oh, I'm supply blocked, there's nothing I can warp in, as the roaches move right into the main base.
Yeah, now the economy is going to cut down. So Puzzle has one army and one army this game. And now the Roachlings are more, just goes down immediately to Ling's sentries as well. Infestors are about to pop, which is going to help out so much. You know, Puzzle's in a world of trouble. He's lost probes in his natural and his main. The probes are coming to attack. And unfortunately for Puzzle, I don't think this is going to work.
No, I think this may be game over here for Puzzle, especially with 21 more roaches coming in. The force fields are once again really, really nice. But as you pointed out, this is it's a awful base trade scenario, because Puzzle's had to just give his base up, and his opponent has 2 more bases to go through, and it's going to be constantly hitting him as he tries to go in there. He is completely outnumbered. He's vastly outgunned, even with that Immortal into play. Guardian Shield goes up, and once again the Roaches actually get obliterated pretty damn rapidly. Puzzle is doing as best he possibly could with an army of this size, but there's 10 spines going on the main, because Leenock knows he just has to hold on to his main, and he wins.
Yeah, he just has to fumbles the ramp, basically, and every time that he goes up, he'll lose a bunch of health and a bunch of units, and Leenock is just going to sit back and take the base trade option, and it's pretty much a victory for him. The Observer's going to go up and have a look and see if he can go, but the longer Puzzle waits, the harder this becomes.
Yeah, certainly. I don't even know if he's actually got... He doesn't have any hidden buildings anywhere, so he's just going to end up losing his base before Puzzle can even kill it. So this will be a final desperate charge up the ramp by the looks of it, and the force fields go down there. They are nicely done. Are they nice enough? Well, I very much don't think so. There are no pylons on the map at this stage. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And there's the GG as Puzzle gives up his final extract.